Hello everyone, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day and making some really good trades, and let's dive right into the analysis here. Again, I was actually checking up on the Russell 2000 and Nvidia, and we'll do some counts here for the major indices. We'll be covering the weekly candles on Market Cipher for the SPY. I'll actually head over to the S&P 500 here, get everything ready. But yeah, today was a bit of a down day, down 36 basis points today. IWM was down 1.27%, and triple Qs were down 13 basis points. We actually had a sharper fall, but a nice recovery throughout the day. Let me get on a different chart, see if we could illustrate this a little bit better. You guys can probably tell we got some selling here, coming back down, and then the buyers came in throughout the day, kind of recovered most of the losses throughout the day, but still ended in the red. Right, so IWM actually entered right into the buy area once again, dipped all the way back down to the pretty darn close to the bottom of my buy area here, and has extended this C leg lower. So actually, let's get on these smaller time frames, and we'll finish up the count here for the IWM. So this looks like it's extended the C leg. You have bullish divergence here on the 4 hour, so that's a good sign. Oh, sorry, the 45 minute. On the 4 hour, it's a little bit harder to tell. You can't really see it, but the stochastics have reset, and the 45 minutes have reset as well. But right now, if I do the count, I can kind of see 5 waves already. So if we take a look at our C leg consists of 5 waves. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and BC 5. Yeah, so essentially that's 5 waves down. But this was pretty impulsive. Could it technically go lower? Yeah, it could. We have an upsloping trend line here that it technically could retest, but we'll have to see. We'll take it day by day. The Russell 2000 is extremely interest rate sensitive, small cap stocks. So again, they will naturally be more volatile, but there is lots of gains to be made, because I do believe if the markets are going to continue to push higher, the Russell will play catch up. And again, there's just like a lot of panic right now, because the Fed is going to cut rates a month later than expected, or a couple of months later than expected, and it's just causing widespread panic amongst investors, and people are selling out. They're throwing in the towel. Like they've rallied the stock market from like these lows here all the way here, in anticipation of rate hikes, but not really knowing when. And now that they know when it is, and it's not, as soon as they thought, people are getting upset. So I don't really understand the whole spiel about that. But anyways, let's get into our count here. So we're essentially in a third wave now. So the third wave should be very impulsive. So we've already have a 1 2 1 2 set up here. And now we should continue up in a 1 2 3 4 5. Unless, this was your 1 2 3, 4, and 5, but this would have been a really shallow 3, which means the 3 up here is already ending somewhere here, which I don't really like, because you've had such a large wave 1, which means the wave 3 should be even larger, or if not just as large, because wave 3 is never your smallest wave. So that's why this should still impulse higher into the 5,000 area, or sorry, the 500 area on the SPY. And then, yeah, you should continue in a 3 of 3 of a 3. So lots of counts here, obviously, but this is like on the minutes, or it should be a minor, and this should be an intermediate count. But yeah, so maybe a little bit more downside here for the C leg if we do start to come back lower. If it's already finished and it already starts to take off into wave 3, which it could, in that case, you need to expect these 500 areas to be hit, and 500 is not up here. This is like 510. 500 is like right here. It's like, how many percentage points away? We're like 1.5% away from 500. But yeah, I can do a very quick target for the C leg here, just to show you guys where we could be going in the short term. Let me get rid of that. That's not it. Fib level. So fib retracement. So if we just take a look at where we could go down in the short to medium term, then probably in between these levels here. You could do as low as the 1.618, given where the RSI is. So this would probably be your buy area if you're looking for a setup for a long position. So you could still get another 1% down in the market and then a bounce from there. However, looking where the Russell is, it's already in its buy area. The small caps are already in the buy area. They are bouncing from it. A little bit of struggle here. Obviously, we bounced, and now we're going to test it deeper, forming bullish divergence. But we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. We could take a look at the weekly time frame actually on the S&P 500. So the weekly is showing a continuation on the momentum waves, expanding green money flow, which is bullish for the market as a whole. Monthly still looking good. Daily, we actually printed a red dot a couple of days ago, and then what happened? The markets dipped and then recovered and pushed even higher. Now we're getting a bit of a bearish divergence, so a smaller momentum wave and a red dot. So maybe we do see more downside tomorrow. But again, don't count on it. It's this people are just like buying the dip, and I'm hearing a lot of people shorting right now. They are shorting, short everything, buy puts here, puts there. Which we've made a nominal high in the market. We're in price discovery, but people are betting against the economy. And I mean, look at the Nvidia and the mega caps; they keep pushing higher and higher and higher, which is tough for the shorts, but it's paying off for the longs. That's just the longs, and that's probably why we keep going higher, is because the shorts keep getting their asses squeezed. But yeah, let's get on the daily. S&P 500. Lots of selling today once again from institutions, but it recovered pretty quickly. Same thing on the SPY and the triple Qs, I believe, as well, had a lot of big bouts of selling today. Again, we are seeing a lot of selling here. It's only normal. We're at all-time highs, and you're seeing a lot of profit taking in Meta and these big cap names, and that have run up significantly. But yeah, that's about it. Nothing too detrimental on the weekly. I don't see anything on the weekly here. So again, we're pretty safe in terms of the weekly time frame. Until I see that, then maybe then we start to shave off positions and wait for the move to start. But until then, it's just business as usual. The markets will continue to float up. I have shorted volatility, which is already up 4% on that trade, so that's nice to see. Let's continue, and we'll take a look here at some individual names. So we'll start off with ROKU, and ROKU actually today entered our buy area. And look at where it entered our buy area. ROKU has just been like to the tick. Like we've been charting this since when did we start charting this? Probably right around like September or maybe like October. After this big move, and we've been looking for a short position or a sell area here that we targeted down here, and it's hit our short area, and then it's been rejected since then. And then I set out two buy areas, a larger one for a bigger wave 2, which we still have not hit, which is down here, because actually, it's not as impulsive here, so technically you could still treat it as the C leg. That's why this buy area down to 78 to 70 is still possible. But right now, on the short term, I have an ABC setup where the C leg should end right around this area, and that's where we hit today. We touched it and then we bounced off, which was quite funny. It's always nice to see the charts work like that, but they're not always going to work like this, right? This ROKU, for some reason, has been amazing to chart, and it's been working out really well. All right, let's continue. We'll take a look here at some more individual names. Let's take a look at Starbucks, right? Starbucks today held the lows. Again, the institutions are defending this area. They do not want to let go for whatever reason. They are holding on to their long positions. You got a couple green crosses. Wave edge X is showing oversold conditions here. We got that big bounce. Big money was buying all the way down here. They were buying all the way down as well. So again, I don't think they have unloaded their positions. They are just waiting for the move to start. And I believe that's going to happen once everyone gets on board. with probably like finally like throwing in the towel and longing and the shorts given, that's probably when you see Starbucks get a pop. But yeah, this is the count. If it were for following it correctly, then we should see one last C leg towards the upside before we ultimately roll over with the markets. So this one's lined up nicely. Let's take a look here at Unity Software. Someone asked me to take a look at Unity Software. So Unity Software, again, has entered the buy area. And I said you'll get your first confirmation of a breakout once you get above this upsloping RSI, or if you can get above this downsloping trend line, right? Or sorry, this downsloping RSI and this downsloping trend line. But until then, you can go lower. I don't see any signs of the move, technically being finished. It's probably in its fifth wave here, but you can technically keep going. I probably have a little 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a 5, right? But when is the fifth leg gonna finish? You need to break above this downsloping trend line. Once that starts, you can really start to get some big moves up here, and it can get pretty impulsive and pretty bullish really quickly. All right, so that's about it. Let's take a look at another name here. I think someone asked me, do Unity Software. Okay, I think that was the only one that someone asked on Friday. Let me take a look at another one that we do often. We'll take a look at Apple. So Apple here, it should be in its third leg down. It could also be a more complicated correction, but we'll map it once we get there. But if this is the move, then Apple should be doing a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? In a third wave. Whoops, what did I just do? In a third wave. So that's basically it. Nothing to really follow up here. Just be patient. Apple's a pretty slow mover, anyways. You don't get these 3-4% moves often. It's pretty rare that they do that. It's usually on earnings as well, or some big news event. But even then, like Apple usually chops around like the 1 to 2% area max. But yeah, let's take a look at some more names here. Let's take a look at Tesla, or Tesla trade. Tesla again actually made a lower low today, but entered the buy area, the very large buy area that I have outlined here, and it's held so far so good. So if it's going to hold, then we may see some a couple months of chop around this area, and then it starts to take off. But given the oversold nature of the RSI, I expect it to probably take off sooner than later, being also a tech stock, one of the Mag 7s, volatile name, lots of bearish narratives right now going around Tesla, recalls, and then the Delaware case with Elon, and then I think we even got a price target cut today at the lows. So it's funny how the price target increases happen at the highs and the cuts happen at the lows, and then suddenly the stock reverses. And that's just the way it goes sometimes, right? But yeah, I mean, I outlined 3 areas that Tesla stock was this oversold in the last, since inception actually, and I can only find 3 times where the RSI was this oversold on the daily, and it was today, back in 2022 of December, when we had that massive sell-off in Tesla. It was like, it was going on like for months, right? Since September all the way down to December. And then we had that sell-off back here in 2016, where the stock fell like 30 or 40%, something like that. Yeah, 40%. And then it had a steep recovery of 90%, right? So I'm not saying we're going to get a 90% rally, but I'm just saying we are extremely beaten up right now. There's a lot of bad, news going on Tesla. But yeah, who knows? Maybe it does go lower, but I do expect a bit of a retrace in a 4th wave here. And then if it wants to go down for a final 5th wave, I'm not going to fight it, and I'm actually going to, be buying down here once it does that. But that right now it looks like it's doing an overshooting B wave, bit of an ABC, and continue up, unless the 4th wave is in, and we're going for that 5th wave already, which would be a very shallow 4th wave. But I wouldn't like that. I would like this setup a little bit better. We can do a target too. I mean, from the overshooting B wave that we just got. So given the overshooting nature, we can do here, let me see where the price was. There we go. So we could do it through the 1.618 to the 236. So this should be the area where the C leg comes up in if the fourth wave is going to happen. So that's your area. That's our target for Tesla. From here, you're looking at about a 13% gain. But there's no guarantee that this happens, and there's no guarantee that any of this will happen, right? So these markets are definitely tough right now to trade. It's a little bit all over the place. We're at all-time highs, volatility's high, or actually volatility's dropping, but for some reason stocks are exploding up or exploding down. All right, let's actually get over and head over to shift gears to oil. Take a look at oil. Oil, a little bit of a tougher trade. I forgot to show the other chart. I think I have it on my laptop or something, but I charted it this weekend. So the bearish scenarios is definitely a little bit different, but the target is the same, between 55 to 45, around that area. If it does not get there and this starts to head back up, I'm not sure the markets will like it. Maybe they could. They say they're talking about inflation being vanquished. But if oil starts to pick back up here, it's not going to help inflation. It's going to make it worse, and then prices are going to be higher than ever, and that's going to cause more problems for the CPI and Fed rate hikes, and the market won't like that, in my opinion. But it could also show a thriving economy, which the market does like. And if you think inflation is over and dealt with, and rising oil won't affect it, then maybe you get a big rally in equities with oil. But we'll see it. We'll see what happens when we get there. Nat gas definitely is still a tough trade. MACD is starting to come up a bit. Let's take a look at market cipher and wave edge here for natural gas. Daily time frame. I don't think we have any significant buying here, not yet. We have a green cross, so that's good. Good news. Take a look at the daily time frame. This is the futures. You have a very prominent bullish divergence happening here, a low and a lower low, a low in the momentum, a higher low in the momentum. So nice divergence there. This is a good setup for a long position. I would definitely take it, and I'm probably going to take it tomorrow. Once the market opens, we'll take some shares in BOIL or UNG. I think we already have a position in UNG. Maybe we'll open a position on BOIL as well for the swing trading account. All right, let's head over finally to the yields. We'll do TLT. So TLT, Jesus, TLT had such a crazy day today. It was down significantly. The yields and the dollar shooting up. If you saw the dollar, shot up to the 618. And again, this was my primary target. I did think eventually it would get here. I had some doubts when we were struggling at the 50% retrace. But now that we've hit it, I think we should be finished, and I think that this retrace is now over, and we should be headed down in a C leg, which should help equities significantly to go up. Are we going to make a lower low? Yeah, I think we have a good shot of making a lower low in DXY, but ultimately I think you'll find support, and once that leg is done, you're going to start a whole new cycle higher, and the dollar is going to go to higher levels, and it's going to put a significant amount of pressure on equities. And that's probably when the market, starts to roll over. So we have nice setup here. If the equities are going to run and finally have a blow off top or something like that, then you need the dollar to come down. Okay? And this would mean like the Fed is going to cut rates, they're going to print money, and the dollar is going to lose some value in the short run. But then they're going to flip again and they're going to raise rates, and then the dollar is going to gain value. So yields, it's also a little bit of a tough trade too. So the TLT might not be 100% guarantee that we're going up here forever, and we're going to have a super hard rally back up to all-time high levels. When the TLT was trading back up here at 150 or 170. So there's no guarantee that we do that. We are in a steep downtrend. We need to look back in a bigger picture. The weekly time frame for the TLT, you're in a big downtrend. You're in a big downtrend, and you have yet to come out of it, right? You haven't recovered yet. The weekly stochastics are still rolling over, right? And the daily, they've reset, and you've actually reached its max point on the stochastics. The RSI started to come down. So if you take out this low here and the yields keep rising, that is not going to be good for equities, in my opinion. I think you're going to see some pressure coming in. But don't get me wrong. I think yields going up will put pressure on equities, but this market can go higher with the yields going up. If the yield curve uninverts between 2s and 10s, if you have a lower rate on the 2-year and a higher rate on the 10-year, then I think that'll help a bit. And you can see the 2-year and the 20-year are getting pretty darn close now. And there's like the 5s and 10s. Or you could look at the yield curves yourselves, but if they start to uninvert, this market can be supported and it can go higher because that's going to help financial institutions, right? And right now the financials, they're the backbone of the market, right? That's where all the money goes, the money flows. And if they go, then it's okay. But there's also another saying, when the semis are strong, there's nothing wrong, and the semis are trading at all-time highs at 194. So looks like there's nothing wrong, right? But when the semis fail, you better bail. All right, that's it. That's enough. I've had enough. I'm pretty tired. I'm going to make another video on Crypto Mickey, and you guys can check that one out too. This is just for stock analysis. Hopefully you guys enjoy this video, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace.